So I'll be going over some of the recent pricing changes with the fashion brand Chanel. Their mission statement for the company that has been around for almost 109 years is to be the ultimate house of luxury, defining style and creating desire now and forever. So just to do a quick SWOT analysis, some of their strengths include their loyal customer base. Over the years, they've developed a sense of trust among their customers, and they've been increasing their loyalty and winning them over. Some of their strong brand image. So over the course of more than 100 years, they've developed a strong brand identity and image, and their loyal customer base has grown into one of the most popular fashion brands around the world. For their weaknesses, the market growth, they've been competing with a variety of other premium brands, which means the brand has limited market growth because they're competing against other luxury good brands such as Louis Vuitton, Dior, Prada, and Hermes. And being a premium brand offers a limited amount of room to expand because the market is already filled with so much competition. Their pricing factor, which we'll be going over, their heavy pricing seems to be one of their weaknesses because they provide expensive products, whereas their competitors offer cheaper options with no compromise in quality. For e-commerce, some of their opportunities, although Chanel has a small online presence, they can increase and become a little bit more powerful with their e-commerce. They can improve their online presence so they can keep their exclusivity as well as improve sales and profits. And for some new services and products, they can develop new products that are targeted more for the younger generation. And for threats, counterfeits, it's a big issue with other brands as well. In the luxury goods space, the counterfeits are increasingly growing, and they're a threat to any company because it tarnishes their image, because these counterfeit items do not have the same quality as the original products, but they are very popular due to their affordable prices and with their competition as well. Their main competitors with other luxury brands, it gives them little scope for market growth because it is such a niche category. And some items that we'll be going over today. So first, their customers. So the brand has been increasingly trying to provide a better experience for some of their customers that are that spend more money in buying products within given each year. And the company has stated that they want to provide a more private experience for these top tier clients. So starting early next year, and they're gonna start roll out these boutiques in some of the key Asian markets. And it's mainly to provide a better experience because their typical stores have such high levels of traffic. And the CFO stated that the biggest preoccupation is to protect our customers and specifically the pre-existing ones. So they're trying to make a more exclusive way of servicing those clients. Some of the products that the company offers that we'll be going over the leather goods today. So, and this is also the market share for the luxury goods space. So for costs, so Chanel has increased the price of their medium classic flat bag about 3 times over 2021, each time raising it by about $1,000. And this price has been effective in increasing their revenue compared to the years before they had the increase. And Credit Suisse and Deloitte state that due to inflation and higher interest rates, some of the older designed handbags are going to be benefiting because it's going to have a scarcity effect, and the prices for these items are going to be increasing year over year. Next, so with the price increase, it mainly started in 2020, whenever lockdown started to occur, and the global countries were slowly starting to lock down one by one, which meant their stores were being forced to close. And due to them having a very low online presence, it was an issue for them because they weren't able to sell their more expensive items, such as their handbags and clothing, online. And due to each country being on lockdown, the factors for their they had raw material suppliers in France, their manufacturers in Italy, and even distribution workers in New Jersey. And all of these individuals, they had to stop working, which affected their supply chain issues. And then towards the end of 2020, when things started to reopen slowly, um, the stores were open, but most of these boutiques are located in these large touristy metro areas. And since international travel wasn't really picking back up, these travelers were not around to spend the money that they usually would. And in 2021, they also had another price increase, and this is for the bag in question, which is their um, classic flat bag. And by the end of 2021, it increased to about around 9,000 compared to what it was earlier in the year. So many major luxury brands have raised their prices throughout the pandemic just to really protect their margins. And their customers have accepted the price that they must pay for these brands' exclusivity. But it's kind of left them wondering if it's worth spending all that money for an item that was a lot less in the years before. And it's kind of lessened the appeal of some of these pieces from the brands and made them question whether it's actually worth it. So a big thing with Chanel is they like to highlight how each of their items are curated and perfectly designed. So here is a video kind of breaking down the process of what it takes to create some of their most iconic and popular handbags. Okay, so that was a little breakdown of how each of their items are handcrafted and created. Okay, so for their competitors, comparing Chanel's prices to one of their competitors from Dior, most of these price increases occurred in 2021 for Chanel, and then next year, most other companies started to increase their prices as well. And for Dior, they did it about a month ago, really. And even though they did increase their price, the percentages are still a lot more less drastic than what Chanel did. And Dior is owned by the luxury group LVMH, and they state that they attributed their price increases due to changes in the production costs, raw materials, transportation, and inflation that all occurred after COVID. And with their competitors, um, there is a rising competition from other brands, which means, again, the market share growth for Chanel is very limited. And across the fashion world, most other brands um, sell some of their products online. However, Chanel is one of the few brands with a long-standing policy against selling any handbags or clothes online. And this was a really big problem with COVID because whenever all of these stores were shut down, Chanel really missed out on the revenue growth that some of their rivals enjoyed with their fashion and leather good units with their products. And with their competitive advantage, they have that brand exclusivity and they are ranked as one of the most recognizable brands in the world. And everyone else, they still have more special pieces compared to what Chanel has, but they have a larger online e-commerce presence, and with their prices being so low, it's a little bit more attainable for the average person. And just to end on something a little bit more newer that the company has been doing. So to make their products a little bit more exclusive, they're really cracking down on the number of handbags customers can purchase at one time. It was stated by a Chanel sales assistant. They told Bloomberg News that they told a reporter that a customer is only allowed to buy one bag at a time, and they must wait 2 months before buying another one, which cannot even have the same features or really the same style. And some of these limits don't really appear to be consistent or exact. In New York, some of the stylists said that they were limiting monthly limits on the purchases of certain classic styles, while reporters in Hong Kong and Shanghai stated that there were no restrictions. And with this new policy, Chanel is really hoping that the scarcity will make it an even more desirable brand. And by increasing this desirability, that they'll have another reason to justify their high prices and price increases. And here are some of the sources. Thank you.